Hi all, my name's Jackie Savage and I am a high school reading English and ELL teacher. I also work as an adjunct professor guiding teachers through the ESL bilingual endorsement program. So I'm currently actually working on a cross-cultural studies course while I am also planning summer school for a group of freshman readers. So these are really fresh freshmen, and this whole summer school opportunity is actually all going to be online. So this is also their first time doing online learning at the high school level. So it's going to be a little bit different, and you'll kind of see that reflected in the lesson that I present in just a second here. So in terms of content, this comes with our career unit. Essentially, we're getting students kind of engaged with what they might want to do in the future, courses they might want to take, things like that. It was awesome because there's these great articles on Newsela all about people's dream jobs. So I thought it would pair really well with this particular unit. So in addition to thinking about courses they're going to be taking and kind of setting some goals for themselves, they're also going to be getting these really great reading strategies, particularly focusing on before, during, and after strategies, and also using evidence to support inferences and analysis. In addition to that, I really wanted to be mindful of choosing texts that had diverse voices represented in them. So this particular text set has 12 different articles. Um, a lot of times I hear from teachers that I am kind of leading that it's really tough because, you're expected to do so much, right? You're having to meet standards, you're having to do test prep. And sometimes doing something like, okay, include diverse voices can seem like just one other thing to put on the pile. But I'm hoping that this lesson shows how it's really pretty easy to ensure that you are including diversity in what you're doing, while at the same time hitting those really kind of important state standards and things like that. Uh, for this particular activity, I used a tool for selecting diverse text that I found on Teaching Tolerance, tolerance.org. I highly recommend this site if you haven't used it before. Particularly in this checklist, it's essentially a checklist that you can go through when you're looking at different texts. I looked at diversity and representation, including diverse voices, and also authentic representations of lived experiences. And what's more lived experience than someone just kind of living out their dream job. So this was a really great way to kind of meld these two things together. And I hope you see that reflected in the lesson here. All right, so let's talk before, during, and after for reading, because this is going to be a strategy you should really return to from now until the end of time. It just helps you be a better reader. So before you read, remember you always want to set purpose. And a great way to set purpose is to go back to the activity that you've been assigned. So what I'd recommend doing at this point is to go back into Teams. And your page is going to look a little bit different than this, but essentially it's the same content, okay? So up here, it's a lot like that Newsela page. Here's all your instructions. And then you'll notice at the bottom here is the form attached. And these are the questions that you're going to be encountering when you're done reading these articles. So go ahead and preview them. You'll notice up here, there's a really detailed model of exactly what I'm looking for. So if you do this, you're going to be set to go, okay? Essentially what I'm asking you to do is I give you an inference or conclusion, like here, people must overcome unique challenges when pursuing their dream jobs. And what you're going to do is you're going to go back in the text and find evidence that supports that, and then kind of explain that thought process out. So if you've done the annotations well, this is going to be pretty easy because you already have this stuff marked in the text. The other thing I want to note for this is there's actually a rubric attached right at the bottom here. And again, this is going to be another way to kind of break down the grading. The annotations are going to be worth 40%. The short responses are worth 60%. So the annotations are what you do in Newsela, and the short responses are what you do on the form. Okay, so that should again make it even clearer what I'm kind of looking for here. So let's go back to that original Newsela page. Okay, so now that I've gotten my purpose, I'm going to go in and I'm actually going to do the reading. As you're reading, actually engage in the text. So some ways you're going to do this. In green, you're going to highlight some personal connections. In yellow, you're going to annotate some connections to the essential questions. And then in that kind of blue-purple color, some connections back to that key topic. Please give about 2 sentences following that annotation just to kind of clarify your thought process to me. And then at the very end, after you're done reading the article, do a quick summary. It just kind of shows you understood what the article was about. Usually if you can summarize it, you comprehended the basics of it, okay? After you're done with all the articles, remember 3 of 12, then go ahead and do that form. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just show you how you do these annotations. I'm going to pick this first article about robotics because even though I'm an English and reading teacher, I love science. So I thought this article looks so cool. And I'm going to scroll down, I'm going to read. Oh, and here's my first annotation. And this was really easy to do. All I had to do was go through and just highlight the text that I was going to use. So I just highlight, and this little annotation function comes up. Okay, I did my annotation here. You'll notice it's multiple sentences long. This shows that even though robotics was her dream job, it hasn't always been easy. It must have been a real challenge to encounter such difficult material for the first time and have the determination to stick with it. Go figure, it's about challenges, which again is what I'm going to use later. Okay, so it's all connected. All right, and finally for the reflection piece, again, I have a rubric that goes with this that'll help me grade it. I can see where kids' weaknesses were, where their strengths were. But one of the adaptations that I really want to take to remote learning is choosing some models of student work to have them kind of present it, to really have them take ownership of the class, even in this remote environment. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.